is going on, guys? My name is David, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing Lego Ninjago episode 64, The Way Back. Now I really do apologize for the images that are going to be used in these videos. This one was, pretty blurry, the quality and the version of the episode, so I really do apologize about that, but this was the only quality version that was actually online, and so for that reason this was the only episode that I could take pictures from, so I really do apologize for that. But I did want to get the review out to you guys as soon as possible, so hopefully you guys will forgive me for that. But yeah, without further ado, let's start on with today's review. So the episode starts off with the ninja basically on the Jin territory, and they're just deciding to split up so that they can stop Nadakan's wedding, and so that he doesn't gain all these unlimited wishes, right? And so everybody's, basically just teaming up into two teams. I'm pretty sure it was Sensei Wu Masako, Soto, Dareth, and Ronin and Skylar, and then, of course, the 5 ninja. And so while this is happening, Nadakan is trying to get his wedding on the roll, and so you have Nia strolling in at a casual pace, trying to give Jay some time to, of course, stop the wedding. But Jay has some problems along the way because, of course, he has to fight some baddies while, Nia is waiting for him. So while this is happening, you have Nadakan trying to get the smoochy smooch at the wedding, and so Clancy is trying to pronounce them husband and wife, and so he does ask Nadakan whether he takes Nia to be his wife, and of course he says yes. And then when Clancy asked that question to Nia, she was just like, give me some time to think. But Nadakan all of a sudden hears all the thuds and all the noise outside. He tells Dogshank and Doubloon to basically barricade themselves inside the room, and he tells Clancy to finish up the ceremony so that he can become all powerful. So he literally takes Clancy and Nia at gunpoint and tells them to finish this up. So of course, when he does this, Clancy finishes it all up, and we have Nadakan the Jin becoming King Nadakan the Jin, or Papa Jin. What? No, that doesn't make sense. King Papa Jin. Yeah, there you go. King Papa Jin. There you go. Alright, so yeah, he basically becomes all powerful, and he has like these blue fire flame balls of fury. I don't know. So yeah, basically after that, Jay tries to give him a wish. And he's just like, I wish you were not a Jin. And then all of a sudden, bang, Nanakan says, I wish that you could never speak or something like that. And then he gets like some metal thing strapped to his mouth. So, of course, Jay is going to have quite a tough time getting out his wish to Nanakan. And then all of a sudden, Jay's just like, you're outnumbered 5-1. And then Nanakan's just like, I wish I had those odds. And then all of a sudden, we have 1,000 Papa King Jins, or King Papa Jins. I forgot the order that I said that in. But yeah, basically we have a bunch of these Jin Papas, and they're just roaming around and trying to beat up all the ninja. And so while this is happening, Clancy gets trampled, and then all of a sudden, Clancy's just like, you know what, bro? You know what? I don't like the way you're treating everybody, and I'm gonna give them the location of the darts, and the dart for the Tiger Widow poison. And then Nadakan's just like, you know what? Flintlock was right. This is all just about me. And then he banishes Clancy to some unknown realm, and then he does the same exact thing to the balloon. And yeah, that's basically it. So now it's a cruel King Papa Jin. There you go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and then after that, of course, he does make Nia fall into a deep sleep so that he can deal with her later while he's trying to hunt down all the ninja. And so then we have 1,000 floating King Papa Jins floating after, cruel King Papa Jins floating after the ninja and trying to stop them. So while they're running through the forest of the Jin territory, they stumble upon the little mine area. The floating mine balls, I don't know what to call them. They of course lead to the Misfortune's Keep flagship. And so they basically cross these floating mine balls, and yeah, so then all the floating Papa Jins start following them, and of course Kai's having a little bit trouble over here, but then they finally do manage to get onto the ship, and then all of a sudden Dogshank throws her anchor at one of those floating mine balls, and then all of a sudden, kaboom! That it is. There's like a huge explosion that occurs on the screen, and then you guys can kind of see the Misfortunes Keep barely escaping the flames. And then, everybody's pretty much cheering because they destroyed all the Papa Jins, and now there's only one left, and that's the original Papa Jin. And so then while this happens, Nadakan is, of course, still at the temple, and then he wishes for Delara, his love, to still be here. And then all of a sudden, Nia transforms into, like, some green-eyed freak, and she is basically Delara now. So I guess Delara's soul possessed Nia's body somehow like that. Something like that. So yeah, it's pretty complicated. But then after that, everybody's chilling on the Misfortune's Keep, and they're trying to devise a plan to defeat Nadakan since he has all these unlimited wishes. And then all of a sudden they realize that they do have the location of the Tiger Widow dart because Clancy gave it to them. And so then they're all just like, Flintlock, you have the power. We believe in you. Even though Nadakan, made a wish and, said that you're a lousy shot, you still got the power. So Flintlock takes a shot and, of course, he gets spot on. So after that, they equip him with the Tiger Widow dart, and, they're basically saying, we're going to distract him so that you can get a clean shot. You take the shot, and then we will trap Nadakan and basically stop him from ruling Ninjago. So while this is happening, of course, Nadakan is trying to, have fun with Delara while he still can. And he's just chilling with her at the temple, talking about, asking her if she still loves him and all that stuff. And she's just like, yeah, you finally did it, man. Congratulations, all that good stuff. And so then Captain J, decides to roll in and stroll in and crash their party, if you will. And he literally actually does that. So he crashes the Misfortune's Keep into the Yang's Haunted Temple area building, as you guys can see right here, and he literally flies it into the building, and then everything's like destroyed and everything's tattered and all that stuff. And then Papa Jin is very, very, very angry, and so then there's like this huge battle that goes off between the ninja and, of course, King Papa Jin, while Flintlock is trying to take that clean shot so that he can take out King Papa Jin. But while this is happening, King Papa Jin is very, very, very concentrated with the ninja. It's actually pretty funny to narrate this. But yeah, basically, King Papa Jin is very, very, very concentrated with his blue fiery fury balls of magic, and he's trying to, distract all the ninja, and so that, they cannot defeat him. And then he basically turns them all into golden ninja statues so that they will not bother him. So he turns in every single ninja into a golden statue except, of course, Jay, and it's up to Jay to save the day. And so while this happens, Lloyd and Nadakan do get into some kind of a battle, but then Nadakan defeats Jay. He gets the Sword of Souls away from him, but then he was celebrating his victory. He was, having that Santa Claus belly laugh. He was like, ha ha ha, victory is mine. And then all of a sudden, Flintlock takes the clean shot, and wabam, Nadakan is hit with the Tiger Widow poison, and it is time for the action to commence and the climax of this episode. So Nadakan, Papa Jin, of course, is getting very, very, very tired and very, very slow. And so then all of a sudden you guys can actually see a shot of the Jin territory slowly lowering down and crashing back to the mainland of Ninjago, because the actual Jin territory is sustained in the air because Nadakan has all this power, and when he is tired and weakened, he loses all this power, and slowly but surely all these things do fall down. What goes up must eventually come down, as the saying goes. And so yeah, basically Nadakan and Jay have this final showdown, and Jay's just like, you know what, Papa Jin, I'm tired of you. I wish you weren't, And then all of a sudden, Neo's just like, Jay! And then you guys can see the Tiger Widow poison got on her. And if you guys do not know what happens with Tiger Widow poison, basically, a mortal dies, basically, if one is hit with the Tiger Widow poison, and it only slows down a Jin. So Jay is actually in quite the predicament at this moment in the episode. And so Papa Jin is basically just at the floor. He took an arrow to the knee, and he's just chilling there. And then, of course, Nia and Jay do have, some kind of moment here. This was actually a very touching moment in the episode. I really did think that it was perfectly executed, and I really did like the, this kind of emotional feel and vibe that, this episode actually had to it. And so then Nadakan gathers his strength, and he gets the Sword of Souls, I said that right. Yes, okay. Because I remember in a previous video I said souls of swords or something like that. So I messed up there pretty badly. But yeah, so then, Nanacon's just like, you have one more wish, Jay. What will it be? Save Nia so that I can rule, or make me immortal so that she dies. And then Nanacon is about to stab Jay in the back with his Sword of Souls and entrap him when Jay wishes that nothing ever happened and that Nia took his hand and nobody ever found the teapot of Tyran. And of course, Nadekana was within earshot when this happened, and he was like, "Your wish is yours to keep." And then all of a sudden, Papa Jin falls down to the ground, and that's it. So then, of course, the like little compass thing that he had of Dalara falls down, and then you guys can see like the all the time flashing back, and then you have the scene in the first episode of Skybound. And so then this is of course the scene where Jay tells Nia to take his hand, and Nia says no, I won't take your hand. But then in this scene, when Jay wished that she actually took his hand, she did it, and they literally kiss at this moment. And this is exactly what all the Jaya fans out there, Jaya fans, stay strong, buddies. They have actually, been waiting for this moment for quite time now. And actually, I've been waiting for this moment for quite the while as well, because I really did expect this to happen around, season 1, season 2. It never happened. We were expecting it to kick off, never did, but finally it did happen. And so I guess Natacon was indeed a good thing that happened to Ninjago. And so then all of a sudden, everybody's broadcasting this huge news because the ninja, of course, are very popular. And then we have Klaus trying to, locate the teapot of Tyran. But then everybody's just like, hey, look, it's a ghost. Let's chase after him. And of course, he never finds and recovers the teapot of Tyran. And then the episode ends off with the boat with the teapot of Tyran floating away into the ocean and into the distance, while Jay and Nia have their kiss. So honestly, I have to say, it was a phenomenal episode. I loved just the dialogue in this episode, the action, the rising action, the climax. I loved it all. And I have to say, it's probably one of my favorite top 3 episodes of all time in the Ninjago series. I love how it wasn't just something typical that we've seen in Ninjago before, like, awakening some ancient being that's like a god, basically, and just, wreaks havoc on Ninjago like the Great Devourer, like the Overlord. It was kind of something unique, and it was something that we really haven't seen before, with, of course, Nadekon becoming all-powerful and having unlimited wishes. So it was a very unique season, all in all, and I have to say, it was an excellent way to end off, and I really did enjoy this episode. So tell me, guys, down in the comment section below whether episode or not, and if you guys got to this point in the video, then comment down below hashtag King Papa Jin. I will catch you guys in my next Lego Ninjago episode, coming to you guys very, very soon. And thank you all so much for 10,000 subscribers. A thank you video will be out shortly. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, guys.